The Walking Dead Survival Instinct is a first-person horror action shooter developed by Terminal Reality and published by Activision in 2013. The game is a canon-based prequel to the Walking Dead television show produced by AMC that is based around the Walking Dead comic book series written by Robert Kirkman. The plot of the game takes place pre-Atlanta, where the television show first introduces us to the main characters in the game, the Dixon brothers, Daryl and Merle. A fun fact before we go any further, the Dixon brothers are in fact characters created specifically for the show and are not in the comic book series at all up to this point.
I didn't crouch down, so I might have made too much noise. Best you crouch to keep quiet.
You are Daryl Dixon throughout the game, and after dealing with your father's untimely death and finding yourself surrounded by walkers, you leave your home behind and search for your brother, Merle. Little does Daryl know that this simple search and rescue mission would turn into a deadly adventure of not only finding your brother alive, but escaping the Walking Dead.
We could. Daryl, he's too busted up. Nothing can be done now except ease his suffering.
A very intriguing and exciting plot if you're a fan of the show. Since these two characters have no backstory from the comics or seen as of yet in the television show, you should expect a great tale to shed some light on these two rather mysterious figures who have become two of the most memorable characters from the show, right? Wrong! This game is a money cash-in riding the popularity of the television show and spitting in the face of not just gamers with its lackluster AI and below-par graphics, but in the face of all the fans of the show.
Daryl, come here. We gotta work up a plan. Daryl, come here. We gotta work up a plan.
There is no backstory about these two characters. Yes, no backstory. How can this be possible if it's a supposed prequel? Well, I'll tell you how. They took two popular characters that have no past to any public knowledge regarding the show and said it's pre-Atlanta, then put them in the woods for 10 minutes, had them encounter zombies, and boom, prequel.
It's a damn shame. Come on, people, what the hell?
This game cheated everybody on every level. The plot is an empty shell full of nothing but fetch missions for some of the laziest NPCs of all time.
Gather up as much as you can and meet me at the truck. Let's go.
The batteries went dead 2 days back. Can't find fresh ones. If you can...
Right, you get the keys and crank the Jenny.
But I am hungry. If you were to slide me a bite to eat, a few items might walk out of this cage. Follow?
Yeah, it ain't rocket science.
Good. Real good.
Seriously, you're in a zombie apocalypse and you expect some stranger to do all the hard work for you to survive?
That's it.
His douchebag friends came out of nowhere and jumped me.
Man, you're the one who jumped me, puto. Merle? What kind of hick name is that? Wouldn't name my dog Merle.
Damn you, Daryl.
Not only that, but you go through half of the game without Merle even in it.
Ain't that right, sugar tits?
You would think, okay, I'm gonna find Merle after a couple missions, right? Nope. And once you do finally get Merle, you never get to play as him or see him in the game except for the cutscenes.
Let's go, you ape. Guess I gotta lug your thick ass back across town. Man, you must be running over 106.
My chair!
Yeah, it'll be here when you come back.
The game tries to act like it has diversity or some sort of strategy element to it with presenting you with a map for your travels, giving you an option to take 3 different paths to your ultimate destination with a risk-reward mechanic. If you're a player that wants to get to the next objective quickly, you can take the highway. It uses less fuel and only stops when needed, but you will have a high chance of breaking down and opportunities to scavenge supplies are low. But in reality, it doesn't fucking matter which road you take because you will stop 2 to 3 times a trip after passing the first 2 initial levels of the game. This can happen in a couple different ways. 1, your car will overheat and you will have to find coolant. Or 2, there are some cars in your way that you will have to push to make a path, all the while avoiding walkers and collecting supplies in the process. Most times, it will be your car breaking down needing coolant, with a random area of the game that will give you an option to check for supplies. What the hell is wrong with the cars in this universe? I have had an NPC give me a brand new car, and once I got on the road, boom, I needed coolant.
Here's the keys. Full tank of gas. And she's good off-road.
And what the fuck, asshole? You said you filled the tank, but the car only has half a tank of gas. Once you reach different cities or towns, you can send out different NPCs that decided to travel along with you on the way. You can send them on scavenge missions while you take care of the main objective. But yet, once again, the game fucks you because these characters bring back less than what they left with. How is this possible? Well, when they go out, they will bring back 1 piece of food or 1 bullet, and then be halfway dead, so you'll need to use precious health supplies to keep them from dying if you decide to send them out again. Now for the biggest negative of the game. I beat it in only 3 hours and 40 minutes. That's less than 4 hours worth of gameplay for, at the time, a total of $60 for the game. Now, there are a couple of positives for the game. Those being Norman Reedus and Michael Rooker. They voice their roles just as outstanding as they act in the show. The sad part is, once you play the game for about 30 minutes, you realize you would rather be more happy watching reruns of the show than playing this game.
In the game, it's pre-Atlanta with me and my little brother, Norman Reedus, and he plays Daryl, and it's spelled D-E-R-L-E. It's not Daryl, it's Durrell. Please get that right.
Load up the church with as many bundles as we can find. Draw as many walkers as we can. And
Bang goes the dynamite.
Do I blame Reedus or Rooker for this game? No, they are actors, and they were there to reprise their roles, and they did a great job. When watching interviews with them talk about the game, they admit that they're not avid gamers, and they were just happy to be a part of this project.
So what was it like working on Survival Instinct with Activision?
it was awesome. I mean, I've never done anything like that, and I mean, they paint such a giant, amazing picture for you to imagine in your head when you're doing the voiceover in a booth, you know what I mean? But I saw the finished project. It's such a smart game, and it's really fun to play. I have a 13-year-old son who's gotten me into video games, so it better be great, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm not the cool dad anymore, you know what I mean? So it's definitely awesome. I saw it, I was really blown.
Now getting to Terminal Reality, now defunct, was listed as the developer of the game, but in reality, this game was outsourced to 4 different studios, not including Terminal Reality. So that's 5 different game developers who worked on this game. Sounds a lot like what happened with a certain game that was made by Gearbox and had to do with an even more popular license. Aliens. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give The Walking Dead Survival Instinct a 4. How does shit like this happen with licenses that are so popular? The Walking Dead is a renowned television show that has won many awards and has a viewership of almost 20 million people. That means AMC could have made a beyond epic game based on the plot of these 2 characters it created.
Who the hell are you, man?
Officer friendly.
But no, this game is a skid mark on the underpants of a walker's decaying ass. Here's a tip to anybody looking to make another Walking Dead game.
Hello? Anybody?
You need to be quiet.
Who is this?
I'm Clementine. This is my house.
You've been all by yourself through this?
Yeah, I want my parents to come home now.
I think that might be a little while.
Staying put for too long is a mistake. Those things are all over the damn place.
Personally, I'd appreciate the company of a guy who can knock a couple of heads together if he has to. I know who you are. And I know you're a killer.
The world is ending out there. Who cares who I am?
That's how it should be done. Otherwise, don't even bother. Now, this really isn't a positive for the game, but it does have a lot of bugs and glitches that can occur, and some of these can be pretty entertaining. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next game review.